This is London.
I'm Fiona Fox. You're watching LDN Capital TV right here on the Fight Network, the only British wrestling show currently on TV anywhere in the world today. And what a corker of a show we've got for you this week. Coming up later in the hour, former British champion Gentleman John Ritchie goes toe-to-toe with a face from his past, the hugely athletic Paul Vault. But up first is a battle of young against old as the high-flying Phil Powers takes on the veteran of the mat scene, Keith Myatt. That means it's time to join the man who calls the matches, Mr. TV, John Atkins.
our fans, you're watching LDN Capital TV right here on the Fight Network, exclusively across the United Kingdom and Canada. The only British wrestling show on TV anywhere in the world today. We are here from the Victoria Halls in Hanley in Stoke-on-Trent. My name, Mr. TV John Atkins, joined once again by the lovely Jetta. And what about we have got for you right now?
Oh, definitely. We have Keith Myatt, Matt Veteran, Paul Powers, Matt Veteran. This is going to be a classic.
Indeed, a battle of two veterans of the sport. Keith Myatt, a 25-year veteran.
Actually, have a little fun fact here for you, John. Keith Myatt wrestled in this for the first time ever, 1983.
Unbelievable.
Before I was even born.
Before you were even born.
Yeah,
now you make me feel old.
Phil Powers is a firm fan favourite here tonight. Keith Myatt, not so much.
Not so much, even though he is from Stoke City. As we saw, he asked our ring announcer to denounce his hometown. He said he is ashamed of being from Stoke City.
The fans want to see a fight.
And I think they're going to get one.
Between who? Keith Myatt and Phil Powers, or
Keith Myatt and the old fella in the front row?
Yeah. Keith flexing his muscles there.
Well, Keith Myatt comparing physiques with Phil Powers is never going to come off too well. Phil Powers actually looks to be in the best shape I've ever seen him.
Oh yeah, he's in great shape. Of course, he's been wrestling a lot recently.
Indeed, and he looks like he's put on a lot of muscle mass as well.
Oh, brilliant. Classic reversal there from Keith Myatt. Phil Powers going for the same.
Phil Powers follows suit.
Look at that.
Nicely done.
Keith Myatt's not happy with that. Oh, straight in, not even locking up, just grabs the wrist.
Myatt goes in for that wrist lock. Powers looking for an escape, reaches the ropes, and flips through and reverses into a wrist lock of his own, and Myatt finds the rope.
Keith Myatt complaining there. His wrist may be hurt, but that's what happens when you get in a wrestling ring.
Indeed, it ain't ballet. It's a physical contact sport, you're going to get hurt. But Keith Myatt knows that. He wouldn't have lasted 25 years in this sport if he wasn't used to some physical pain.
Oh, he's just a whiner. He's a big baby. Chris Roberts trying to get this one underway here.
Indeed, they're still yet to really lock up.
Going for a test of strength there. Keith Myatt goes straight back to that arm.
Again, back to that wrist lock. Powers again rolls over. This time, just about gets up.
Oh, where's he going for here?
Oh my goodness, right up that top. What a reversal. And a beautiful drop kick.
Oh, Keith's not happy. Timeout.
Well, there's no timeouts in wrestling, as we all know.
As Phil Powers just found out. Oh, look at that, he's going straight to the nose.
Right over his nostrils, he's going in deep.
Oh dear. Can't be good for that. And a quick, crafty close fist there where Chris Roberts walks away. What do you think, John? Warning?
He receives your first public warning.
And there it is.
Myatt receives a public warning for continual nostril-based offence. And Powers, I think, is hurt.
Seems to be going for that knee there.
And this is one of the tactics that Keith Myatt has employed well over the last 25 years. He will injure a body part and then work on it continually.
Look at him dropping his full body weight there onto the knee. Bit of rope leverage there as well, which of course is illegal. And a bit more there. See Keith grabbing the rope. Chris can't see, he's looking at Phil Powers.
Well, indeed, it's illegal, but Chris Roberts so busy checking on Phil Powers to see if Powers wants to submit. He doesn't even realise that Keith Myatt is pulling on that middle rope for extra leverage.
He snaps that leg back there. Phil Powers is having a bit of trouble. Oh, Phil's got him.
Powers now taking control of this one. And Myatt can't quite wave the ropes with his hands, gets it with his right foot though.
Phil Powers breaks. Oh, come on, Keith.
Go on, Keith. Just moments ago, you were using the ropes for your own illegal advantage. Powers with the clean break.
Oh, now he's complaining that his wrist hurt again. Oh, it really is quite pathetic, isn't it, John?
It's a very sad sight to see a veteran of the sport reduced to such cheap showboating.
I think they want him to break it.
These are dangerous days.
Oh!
Kicks to the midsection from Phil Powers. Whips it across the ring. And meets him up.
Oh, look at that offense.
Lovely manoeuvre there from Phil Powers.
Oh!
And that could be all. Just a 2 count, but Phil Powers landed hard on the back of Keith Myatt's head. Follows up with a suplex.
Big suplex. Keith Myatt's down.
Powers comes out of the corner and again drops a knee to the head.
Picture perfect knee drop there.
And again, just a 2 count.
Here we go again with another big whipping, but Keith reverses, sends Phil in. Oh, right to the eardrums.
Indeed, and that's going to affect Phil Powers' balance, I shouldn't wonder.
Oh. And keeps up.
Powers with his opponent over his shoulders.
Oh, big slam there from the shoulders. It's a high
Plants him down hard. Plants him down hard and goes up top.
What are we
They
going to
don't
see
call
here?
him flying Phil Powers for nothing.
Oh, big leg drop there from Phil Powers. That's got to be it.
And he does it. Phil Powers. And take a look at that replay. Phil Powers comes off the top rope with a flying leg drop.
A little bit of karma there. Hits Keith Myatt. And the fans are loud.
Jeddah, they don't call him flying Phil Powers for nothing. He came off that top rope with a beautiful flying dropkick. His nose down, 1, 2, 3, and he got him.
Picture perfect. Keith Myatt's not happy.
The loser, Keith Myatt. The winner, Phil Powers.
Keith Myatt not happy, but he'll live to wrestle another day. I've got no doubt about that.
Hello and welcome to the London Eye. As you'll know by now, on October 29th, LDN headed to the Wolverhampton Civic Hall for a top night of wrestling action. Heading the bill was a match between British champion Yorgos Christopoulos and British legend Kendo Nagasaki. These two have been waging war on one another for many months, recently battling over the Sword of Excellence in a wild ladder match, which left more questions asked than answered. And we'll see the latest instalment right here on Capital TV next week. And there's just time to tell you that the second Legends Showdown is fast approaching. monumental event saw, amongst other highlights, Johnny Saint come out of retirement and Jorgis capture the British Championship from gentleman John Ritchie. On the 29th of November, LDN heads back to the Thurrock Civic Hall for Legends Showdown 2008, in what's sure to be an unforgettable night of thrills, spills and surprises. We'll bring you more news on this event in upcoming London Eyes, including a big announcement next week about some of the first names announced for the show. We hope to see you there. Well, that's all we've got time for in this week's London Eye, but there's still plenty more to come. Up next is John Ritchie. Don't go away.
And indeed, Ponsonby, I believe, the only cornerman in British wrestling history to serve his wrestler out of a champagne flute.
These are dangerous days.
Listen to me, you soul champion. Let's start on that now. It's so we take the first year out of our call to run to nobody.
Okay, fans, back here on the Fight Network, you are watching LDN Capital TV. John Atkins here, joined by the lovely Jetta. This match is set for 6 3-minute rounds, 2 pinfalls, 2 submissions, or a knockout to decide the winner.
And there's John Ritchie playing his usual games with the referee, Chris Roberts.
Indeed, I've got a feeling he's going to have his hands full with Paul Vault here, a local to Stoke. We are, of course, at the Victoria Halls here in Hanley at Stoke-on-Trent. And Paul Vault, a local boy and a big crowd favourite here.
Go get some class now. Go have a bath.
Referee just going over the rules here. 6 3-minute rounds.
2 pinfalls, 2 submissions or a knockout, and surprisingly a clean handshake. There's the bell, round 1 now underway. And Paul Vault looks like he can't wait to get his hands on John Ritchie. Ritchie, on the other hand, in no rush to get this one started. They go for a collar and elbow tie-up, and Paul Vault, a slippery customer.
And there's another lock up there. John Ritchie firmly in control there with the waistlock, but oh!
Nicely reversed there by Vault. Goes behind. Ritchie looking for an escape, finds it, goes for a cover, and just a 2 count. And John Ritchie is always able to find something to complain about. I don't think that man would be happy if he won the lottery.
Probably complain about going to collect it, John.
The fans, though, solidly behind hometown boy Paul Vault.
Oh, beautiful arm drag there from Paul Vault. John Ritchie is not happy.
He's not impressed at all.
So what do we think? Do we think John's underestimated Paul Vault a bit here? He's tried to run around him a bit there with a bit of chain wrestling, but Paul Vault just as well versed.
Well, Ritchie doesn't look pleased about something. And I wonder if maybe Ritchie has taken Paul Vault a little bit lightly. The 2 men lock up for a test of strength. And you would think that Vault would get the better of that one, but Ritchie uses some old tricks and sends Vault down to the mat this time.
John Ritchie again complaining to referee Chris Roberts there. And here we go. This is where Paul Vault's going to have to be very careful here, because John Ritchie does this a lot. Gets under the skin of his opponent, and then he takes his eye off the game. John Ritchie capitalises. So Paul's just going to have to...
Well, if you look at Paul Vault, he's just gone back to his corner. He's just standing there. He's trying not to get riled up. He's trying to ignore everything that John Ritchie's doing. And I think he's just got to think, when Ritchie's ready to wrestle, I'll be ready to wrestle, but I'm not going to get drawn in to the mind games.
And here we go again with another test of strength.
And this time Paul Vault is keeping John Ritchie waiting.
There we go. Oh, it's the end of the first round. I think we had about 20 seconds worth of wrestling there, thanks to John Ritchie.
A very slow first round indeed. Thanks entirely to John Ritchie. As the 2 men make their way back to their corner, we see John Ritchie's ever-present butler Ponsonby there. The only cornerman in British wrestling to serve water to his wrestler with a champagne flute. and a very short rest period. I don't think John Ritchie will be happy about that, but...
Oh no, didn't even get to drink his water.
But it's not as if he overly exerted himself in that first round, is it?
Not at all. And here we go with another test of strength here. And now it's Paul Vault playing the mind games.
Well, I think Paul Vault just used that first round to get the measure of John Ritchie. And now he's decided two can play at that game. Well, it's clear just by looking at them who's got the better physique.
And here we go.
Looks like a stalemate to me. Neither man really with the upper hand. And now Vault there gets it in nicely. And a headbutt to the side. He's going up to the top rope. What has he got in mind? Nice arm drag off the top rope, sends Ritchie all the way to the other side of the ring.
He doesn't know what's hit him, he doesn't know what day of the week it is. Don't think he was expecting that.
And Paul Vault having a few words there with Ponsonby.
And that's amazing there from Paul Vault. I mean, as we've said before, he's a very big guy. For him to be able to have the balance to walk up there and step across the top rope like that, amazing.
This is illegal use of the rope. This is British law.
Oh, and John Ritchie's out on the floor here complaining once again to Chris Roberts. Nothing illegal about what Paul Vault did there at all. Oh.
Go for a test of strength once again, and this time John Ritchie with a cheap shot there.
There's a quick stomp to the face there from John Ritchie. Not very sportsmanlike, not very gentlemanly.
But what else would you expect from someone like the gentleman John Ritchie? A man who held the LDN British Championship for almost all of 2007.
Oh.
He certainly knows what he's doing in the ring. Big European uppercut.
Looks like he's cruising for a public warning there.
Indeed, Roberts being surprisingly lenient here with John Ritchie. Suplex into a pin.
You see
just
the
a one
perfect execution of that suplex there, John.
Well, that's
no
exertion. That's what's so frustrating about John Ritchie. He can do the wrestling. He knows all the moves. And one fan just got a little bit too close to the action for his own good there, and was sent scurrying by Ponsonby.
End of round two.
End of round two, and the score still 0-0. Neither man really getting the upper hand.
Still a very, very even contest here. Oh, and Paul Vault's asking for the handshake. Oh, look at that, right behind the referee's back. Paul Vault goes for the friendly handshake there. Chris Roberts' back's turned. John Ritchie gives the boots to Paul Vault.
Well, indeed, it was even between rounds. They had no business making contact with each other whatsoever. And John Ritchie went for that cheap shot.
John Ritchie's a seasoned wrestler, been wrestling for many years, and he saw that opportunity and he just couldn't resist himself.
These are dangerous days.
Paul Vault himself is no rookie. And a good warning there from our ring announcer. Some of these fans getting a little bit too close to the action.
It's very frustrating when you're sitting there and you can see all of the tricks that John's using.
But you don't want to end up with one of these guys in your lap, Jeff, I don't mind telling you.
Once again, John's stalling. Looks very much like John Ritchie there, with a younger version.
Well, Paul Vault saying it looks rather like Ponsonby. And one for the missus as well, why not?
Never been treated like this before in my life.
So here we go, we're in round three. We've got no clear advantage here from the... Oh, and John Ritchie right with a close fist there, right to the gut. Referee had to have seen that. Oh!
Oh my goodness! Throws it through though into a cover, but Volt gets that shoulder straight up.
And that's a lot of technique there, a lot of shoulder strength. I mean, you can see how well executed that pin was from John Ritchie.
Indeed, very well executed. Oh, he's going low for that one.
And the referee didn't even see it. I mean, this is another thing about John. He is such a talented athlete, but he just has to resort to these tactics.
Well, he's almost like a magician in the ring. He misdirects you, makes you look one way while he does something else. The referee watching Paul Volt's shoulders and John Ritchie grabbing a handful of Paul Volt's crown jewels. Still not able to get more than a 2 count, though.
I mean, you can see the technique as well in John Ritchie. The way he picked Paul Volt up there, there's no way that he could get away from him.
Well, a great drop kick.
Perfect drop kick.
And that might have been enough to get the cover, but again, John Ritchie going back to those fans, showboating again. But we are approaching the halfway point of this match, and the score is still 0-0, but a roll-up there from John Ritchie, and he gets, I spoke too soon. In the 3rd round, John Ritchie goes up 1-0.
As much as I hate to say it, John, you can't fault that roll-up. Perfect execution.
And if we just take a look at that again, John Ritchie with that roll-up, did he grab a fistful of tights? Whatever it was, something kept Paul Volt down there for the 3 count. And we are now exactly halfway through this 6-round matchup. And John Ritchie leads 1-0.
And he's looking very, very pleased with himself there.
Indeed, Ponsonby bringing out the best silverware.
Here we go, round 4. Can Paul Volt bring it back 1-1?
Well, Paul Volt now at a very serious disadvantage because he needs to score 2 consecutive falls to win this matchup. We are now in the 4th round, the exact halfway point of this bout. And Paul Volt is playing catch-up.
John Ritchie goes straight for the leg there, right into a perfectly executed ankle hold.
Indeed, just bending that ankle around, looking clearly for a quick submission.
And just look at the way his stance is. He's got all of his weight into that hold.
And even the shoulders of Paul Volt there were forced down. The only way Paul Volt could relieve the pain was to put his shoulders on the mat, but of course by doing that, he runs the risk of getting pinned.
He has to be in absolute agony with this hold on. John Ritchie has applied that hold perfectly. Here we go. He's got enough for that. Oh, it's not enough.
Paul Volt looking for that counter. And it's credit to Paul Volt as an athlete.
And he got him.
If he wasn't in such great shape, he would have been forced to submit for that one.
There's a lot of strength in that leg to be able to kick John Ritchie off. As I said, he had that hold on perfectly.
And for some time as well. That might play a factor in the rest of this matchup.
Oh, definitely. I mean, we've seen with Paul Volt, his feet are a big part of his offense. You can see him favouring it there as he hops around the ring, trying to just get a bit more feeling back into that ankle.
Likewise, John Ritchie trying to gather his thoughts and collect himself a little bit.
Oh, but is he interested in Paul Volt?
Oh,
he's straight in there.
Whips him across the ring.
Oh.
Follows up with a big cross body into the corner, comes off the top.
Oh, look at that unique offense here from Paul Volt.
Goes for the cover and the shoulders are down.
Oh, and it wasn't enough.
It wasn't. John Ritchie, I think, just close enough to that bottom rope to be able to get a shoulder up.
Paul Volt still on top there, he could still capitalise. Here we go, big clothesline.
Clothesline sends John Ritchie down to the mat. Paul Volt picks him back up. What has he got planned?
Big backdrop. Is that going to be enough? Oh,
another big low blow.
Well, the referee saw it.
Ritchie going for the cover, but
that's his first public warning, John.
first public warning for John Ritchie. And this time he ran out of luck.
And he's not happy with that decision at all, is he?
No, he's not, but it was the right call to make because Ritchie was going for that cover, and luckily the referee saw the low blow and called for the public warning right away. And the bell has rung, and that's the end of round 4. Ritchie still leading 1-0.
I mean, there is no way that Paul Vault can win this match now, but he can pull it back to a draw.
Well, no, you're wrong, because we're about to go into round 5. There's 2 rounds left. Oh, and John Ritchie just, well, blame it on the butler. It's the butler what done it. And a very humiliating slip here for John Ritchie.
Oh dear.
Leading 1-0, but there are 2 rounds remaining. It is anyone's fight. John Ritchie really needs to finish this one off. But Paul Vault, the pressure is really on him now, because he has got 2 rounds, and to get a win, he needs to score 2 consecutive falls, and that is no easy task. And the bell rings for round 5, the penultimate round. Ritchie still 1 fall up after he scored that roll-up with a big handful of tights in the 3rd round.
And look how he's landed there, right onto that wooden stage.
Indeed, Ritchie just threw him straight over the top rope.
He goaded him into that one.
And now Ponsonby with What is that imbecile doing?
And the referee can't see it. John Ritchie's got him distracted.
How dare he? Ponsonby using that wooden cane to just...
Oh, but he's up. What's going on?
And the shoulders are down. And he nearly got it. He nearly got it.
Big slam here from Paul Vault. Oh, and John Ritchie is down. What, he's going to the top.
Paul Vault going up top. He's staying on his man. Goes to insult. And John Ritchie just out of the way. And that was a very exciting couple of moments here on Capital TV.
Paul Vault may have missed that moonsault there, but John Ritchie is a bit dazed and confused.
Well, Ritchie now going up to the middle ropes himself, and that's very rare for John Ritchie. He altogether comes off the ropes, and that is why he got caught nastily there by Paul Vault. And the leg is hooked. Paul Vault equalises in round 5.
Here we go, we're at 1-1 now with 1 more round to go. Anybody's game as Paul Vault evens it out.
Indeed, everything to play for as we go to round 5. We finished round 5 with the equalising fall there from Paul Vault. Ritchie went 1 fall ahead in round 3. Paul Vault equalised, and now there is 1 fall remaining. And as you so rightly said, Jeddah, everything to play for.
Paul's just going to have to keep cool, calm and collected, forget what's going on the outside, and just keep his eye on John Ritchie.
Well, indeed, you give him that advice, but as you can see, he headed straight over to Ponsonby, the butler. Ponsonby has finally been ejected from ringside, but is it too late?
You see John Ritchie there with those closed fists with Chris Roberts there not looking.
And there's a cover. And this matchup has degenerated into an all-out brawl. And there is just so much going on at ringside, in the ring. Both of these men with fiery tempers. Paul Vault normally able to keep it under control, but after 5 rounds of cheating and interference from John Ritchie and Ponsonby, Vault's finally had enough, and Ritchie none too happy either.
John Ritchie on top here.
Both men have got to hear the clock ticking. They've both got the same idea, and both men land hard on their posterior.
Who's going to be the first one to get up? It looks like John Ritchie, but Paul
Ritchie
Vault's
the first
not
back
far
up to his
behind.
feet, but Paul Vault with the inside cradle, the shoulders are down, and just a 2 count.
So close.
So close indeed. This time an inside cradle from John Ritchie, and he's using that bottom rope.
Oh, he's got his foot on the bottom rope there.
Ponsonby as well. Well, the referee can't have eyes in the back of his head, but that was a bad call, wasn't it, Jeddah?
It was a terrible call, but like you say, Chris Roberts can't have eyes in the back of his head.
If we take a look at that replay, John Ritchie with the inside cradle, he rolled his own legs over to that bottom rope for the extra leverage, and Ponsonby held them down, and they scored the 1-2-3. It went down to the wire. Round 6, John Ritchie beating Paul Vault 2 falls to 1.
Unfortunately, John, even though I saw it, you saw it, the hundreds of people here in the hall saw it, it comes down to one man's decision.
And in the words Well, a great showing here from Paul Vault, but at the end of the day... Well, I don't think they're going to miss him too much either. A great showing from Paul Vault, but at the end of the day, John Ritchie on time with the win, 2 falls to 1.
You can learn to be a professional wrestler at one of 3 LDN training schools. For more information, go online to www.ldnwrestling.com.